Okay, so now we've got the guitar fretted, and I filled the markers with clay. So we've got some clay dots and a nut blank. What we're going to do now, we're going to dress the frets and cut the nut slot and cut the surface down. So that's the last step of the process. So we've got to tune to pitch. And yeah, I'm going to close the door and go. We got the guitar scanned. First thing we see is the string graph. Trust what looks good. This is the blue line. So we would just go straight on to the Virtual Fretdress graph. This area here is going to be interesting. The way I like to see it is I make two decisions first of all. I have my decision on the fret height and the radius. And then I look at fall away, which is back here. And fall away is something I'm going to explain maybe when I've set everything else. So I'm going to decide on a fret height of 1.17 at the 1st and 12th fret for the high and low E string. So let's set that there, just get it into its vicinity. Now I'm going to fine tune by using the arrows down here. That's 1.17 and 1.17. So we've got a nice even fret height all the way down from the 1st to the 12th fret. Same thing here. Pull the line down till I get quite close. Okay, so 1.17, 1.17. Okay. Now I'm going to think about my radius. Kind of like a 9 to 10 inch radius at the 1st fret. So I'm going to leave that there. I think 250, that's around 9.8, I think. Let's have a look. I can blend in the inches. So I got that's 9.8. Just bring that down a bit. So that's good. So I have a compound radius. It goes to almost a 14-inch radius at the right at the end, which helps when you're bending the string at the high range, upper range of the fingerboard, and you won't get fret out. Now I can also include a fall off or a fall away. This means I can manipulate the curve after the 12th fret. I can bring it down. This gives the string in this area much more space, and that we can do that by bringing the curve down. I like a setting of 50. 50 means that from the 12th fret onwards there's a straight line. There's not the curve doesn't continue. It just goes to the 12th fret and then goes straight. So I like to set that on both sides. Okay. So now I have the fret height I want, 1.17. The radius I want, it's 9.8 to 12.6 to almost 14 inch at the end, and have the fall away I want. So this is a really nice Fretdress, and I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to ask the machine to cut and see how it turns out. So now the machine wants me to open the door, and I do that, I take off the electrical contact. Now I need to just loosen the strings and tie them back so the neck is free to be processed. You don't have to take the strings off completely. I just need to loosen them so they are loose enough to tie behind the neck. And then I strap the instrument in with the secure straps, the metal secure straps and the backstop, so when the machine cuts the frets, the machine does not move the guitar. And I close the door, and after I've closed the door, machine is going to scan again. Now the neck has completely changed its position, so the machine needs to find the neck again, needs to find the position of all the frets, but it knows from the settings I told it to do with the Virtual Fretdress how much to take off at what fret. So now you can see it's cutting the frets. It uses the oiler to just put a small bit of oil over the fret, cutting oil, before the blade passes over. And it takes multiple passes, but it always moves down one fret. It doesn't repeat the cuts on the single frets, because that makes the fret too hot. So we go down the neck and then we move up and go down the neck again. And here you can see it's moving a bit slower. This is the final pass, and also you can see the nice profile of the cutter shape. How it crowns the fret here. This is also a very good feature of the Plek, that it also can crown the fret while it cuts it. So the operator just needs to polish up the frets with fine steel wood afterwards. Now it measures the top of the nut, because it wants to now cut the surface of the nut. It's going to be cutting down the nut blank, and we have a radius set in the guitar data file, and it's going to be cutting down the nut height. We call it nut surface cutting. And it takes multiple passes, and the step over is all editable by the operator. That means that if you have a larger step over, obviously the machine moves faster, but the touch-up work by hand is more. And if the step over is finer, then the nut is either the cleanup work is not so extreme. So here we can just see the machine taking its last passes of the surface cutting, and then it will cut the slots. It uses the same bit. It's a 0.3 cone cutter. It's a very fine bit, and now it is cutting the slots to the correct height and gauge of the string set that was selected for this instrument. I think this is a 50 to 11 or 11 to 50 gauge, and so it cuts the slots specifically for that gauge. Okay, now it's done all the processing. It's cut the frets and the slots on the nut, so I have to loosen the straps and restring the instrument and tune it up to pitch, and then the machine will take a final scan, and that's what we call the control scan. Here we can check how well the machine has worked, and if it performed the task that it was supposed to. So by stringing up the guitar and tuning it, we bring it back to the position it was before. And with this control scan we can also check if we need to readjust the truss rod or not. And It's just a general check if what we asked the machine to do was actually performed by the machine. So yeah, as you can see, it runs down right underneath the string. It pushes it aside and measures the fingerboard and the fret heights and the frets right underneath, exactly where the musician would be playing the instrument. Okay, measurement's done, and that's quality achieved, so that's a good sign. So now we just open up the string graph and the Virtual Fretdress graph. We have the guitar finished, and just have a look at the string graph. It looks very good. Everything's really good. The truss rod's got a good setting. So let's have a look at the. Oh, that's wonderful. That looks very nice. So we got our radius that we set. Let's bring it back to inches here. Yeah, it's 8.9, 12.6, going to almost a 14 inch with 50% or 50 fall off. Quality of the cut is excellent. Let's have a look at the fret heights in millimeters. That's 117, 116, so it's almost, yeah, it's perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Nice compound radius, fall away at the back. Yeah, can't get any better. Let's open the door and take the guitar out. Now I've completed my work, or the machine has completed its work, and I take the guitar out, and now I just need to polish up the frets and install all the rest of the hardware, pickups, scratch plate. We're going to tune it up, set the action, put the pickups in, and we'll come back later on for a test. Play it, see what it does. Yeah, then it's finished. So it's done. Strung it up, tuned it up, got all the hardware in there. Give it a quick play, see what it's like. Yeah, so it's bent the strings quite well, feels good, happy.